goes down low. The 79 gets caught up in it just at the very end. The 67 though of Nathan Stanley makes it on through free and clear. He, Paul Ferdiani, and Larry Dickerson having a drag race down in the for one last attack, getting underneath him, not quite able to make it stick, having to lift once again. Go into exit of turn number 4, down onto the front straightaway here. Who's going to win it with the drag race? It's going to be Timothy Pope. First 3 and 4, 751 with a hefty lead here, about a half a car length as the one gets up into the wall with a run down. 200 feet. It's going to be a close one across the line. Derek Welsh made it 3 wide on the far outside lane, picking up spots left and right here as everybody fighting for every single spot we go. Coming across the line, white flag. So here we go, final lap. Hello and welcome everybody into some Monday night racing action here as we have the Num Thumbs Racing League Cup Series taking on, oh man, we're taking on Kansas here tonight. Dorothy and Toto aren't going to be around to save you here tonight, fellas, as this track is looking to be a tricky test for these drivers here tonight. What will the tornado unravel? Well, you just gotta have to wait and find on out. So let's head on down to the action and get things all started on off with the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back. As always, we have to say a big thank you to the fantastic supporters of this fantastic lead. Like so, tonight's race sponsor, Lonestar Racing, hosting this 195 here at Kansas Speedway. Glad to have you guys on aboard from Lonestar Racing. I think Lonestar Racing is actually going to have a pretty big announcement coming on up here pretty soon. So y'all definitely want to stay tuned for that. As well as be sure to have a big time thank you to DEP Graphics. Some fantastic paint schemes being had over there. Be sure to head on over to Dana Pochlag and Trade and Paints and say, hey, DEP Graphics, I'd like a custom paint scheme and I want it to look fancy. Well, he's just the guy for you. So head on over to DEP Graphics. Big thank you as well to Sim Gear Central as well. A fantastic button box with all your needs for whatever sim you might be playing in. It's got flip switches, turn-style knobs with buttons. It's got everything to it. So head on over to simgearcentral.com to order yourself a fantastic button box here today. Big thank you as well to Track Bar Media, some fantastic photo and video edits of sim racing and real life racing. Be sure to get yourself maybe a little package there. Go check out what work they have done over there at Track Bar Media. Big thank you as well to Martin Sports, some fantastic racewear and casual wear, all customized and logoized and whatever you need. So be sure to head on over to Martin Sports. And of course, big thank you as well to Davidson Builders, the premier custom builders up there in the northern New Jersey area. Be sure to go and check them on out. If you're looking to maybe do a little bit of a remodel or just change out the kitchen sink, they can definitely help you on out. So once again, big thank you to Davidson Builders. As always, that's not the right button. As always, I am Alan Brown, and I am joined by two of my best friend idiots here around. Got Mr. Alan English, the Brewmaster in General, joining us here up in the broadcast booth here tonight. And Alan, I think we got a tricky task here in front of us for what would normally be a cookie cutter track.
Yeah, and we're seeing these next-gen cars kind of struggle out there to get grip down. I don't know what the deal is that the track's not particularly warm out there, so maybe a cold tire situation, but some of these guys are able to put quite a few laps on a single set of tires, so we'll see how they fare out here tonight in this 130 lap race. It's about 100 and, what did we say, 195 miles? So it's a pretty good long race here, but decent sized field too. We've got looks like 34 people registered. I think one of them is race control, so probably 33 drivers here registered so far. These guys are about halfway through the qualifying session.
Yeah, that they are. Down there on pit road is our community anger management specialist himself, Mr. Adam Turner, all ready to go. And Adam, we got a beautiful night race here at Kansas, and I got a feeling tonight's going to be a special show for all those people out there.
Yeah, Kansas is pretty cool. I think they have a lot of sunflowers there. The best part about Kansas here is there's a casino in turn 2. So, you can gamble, you can watch a race, you can probably drink cold beer. I'm pretty sure they drink beer in Kansas. Why wouldn't you? It's the Sunflower State? I don't know. Hell, it's cool track though. It is 1.5 miles. It's kind of cookie cutter-ish, but it's just got a little bit different banking than some of those other cookie cutters, and I think it's going to be interesting and fun to watch these Harbor Freight cars. Next gen cars run around the track. Let's go through the rules real quick. 1 fast repair, 85% fuel, 3 sets of tires total. That's going to be interesting. 18 incident points, you'll get a penalty. 25 incident points, you'll be disqualified. And I checked a second ago, it was 77 degrees on the track. Looks like that's the same temp. Should be cool and sticky, but we'll see how aggressive these guys get.
And that indeed, as we take a look at tonight's race info. Beautiful nighttime weather here in Kansas. No tornadoes or thunderstorms, anything in the area here in the virtual world, thank goodness. But these drivers having a beautiful night for a race. And bringing us on down to tonight's key to the race. And man, oh man, they might need to start taking a playbook out of Formula One there. They're going to have to get those tire blankets on out there on those wheels. Get those things all warmed up. Mr. English, I know you and I were mentioning it here during the practice session. We're seeing a whole bunch of people have problems coming out of turns 1 and 2, especially just slipping and sliding out of there.
And even 1 or 2 drivers coming off of turn 4, which that's a very gradual turn exit there. I don't know if it was, because they got a wheel or 2 down there on the different angled apron or what there, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of guys scraping the outside wall too, coming off these turns as well. So some guys with a loose condition coming off, some guys pushing up into the wall. So different problems for everybody, it looks like.
What do we need to introduce anything European into this American sport here? Tire? Well, he's talking about what were you, tire blankets? What the hell is that, Brown? What is that? What do they do over there?
Well, when your tires get tired, you need to put them to bed and tuck them in with a blanket.
Tuck them in.
But no, it's Of course, you're saying that, and of course, NASCAR just went out and absolutely dominated over there in Le Mans with all those prototypes and GT
America.
cars,
America.
having Freebird playing at,
Yes.
11 the entire time around the track.
Yes, please.
That's awesome.
But I'm assuming that is like a little tire warmer-upper thing
Yeah.
they have. They got so many gadgets over there. I don't know how they even can afford to drive those cars. They're way more expensive than anything we're driving here on NASCAR.
$1,000 ticket prices. That's what it's called.
Do they really?
That helps.
Oh yeah,
Hi.
as I was now again. This was kind of late last second. I was looking up, ticket prices because F1 was up in Montreal this past weekend, and they were not cheap, not cheap at all.
Well, you got to pay the tax man up there. I'm not going to get into Canadian politics, but I'm not a real fan.
Yeah, you don't even know
What's-
Trudeau.
Yeah, I don't like that guy,
You
though.
can't even
I just
spell
don't like
Trudeau.
him. I don't want to. I want him to go away. I don't want to see him anymore
Goodness.
on my television.
I think his name is spelled Liar, right? That's how you spell
Yeah.
it.
Oh, I
Right.
don't know. Ask
I-
Garrett Woodward. He's
I think it.
Canadians.
Hey, just as an outsider, yes, but
Sure.
we have that same problem here. So, I mean, it's like two peas in a pod. What's going on? Oh, that's crazy. So it's even expensive up in Canada, huh? That's nuts.
I want to thank the people who are already joining us over there in the YouTube chat. Chuck Kiger's out there. The One Lowly Goats member out there today. Angry Tacos Network back joining us again. One of the coolest names in the chat there, saying good Monday evening and let's go 005. Pulling for AJ Evangelista out there once again.
Good. We
Thank you
didn't
for
scare
joining us,
everybody.
folks.
We didn't scare them off yet, Brown. So that's
No,
good.
no.
We'll
Yeah,
talk about
it's coming.
we'll talk about names to get people scared off here in a little bit. Just a little part of our mid-race podcast that we eventually quite often
I
break
think
down
we should do
into.
it.
Yeah,
But
We should do a podcast once a week.
we should.
it wouldn't be bad.
But some of us are like extremely hard-working folk.
well, that's not
Don't
me.
know.
It's hard to
Definitely
take
not me.
time, but we could do it at some point. Maybe if racing slows down.
Well,
I
I'm
think that's
available
fine.
quite a bit, guys. I don't know what y'all's job deal
You're
is.
flexible.
I'm very flexible. Semi-retired. Oh man, that'd be fun. We'll talk about that, but hopefully we won't scare anybody off here, just because we're about to kick this thing off.
And that indeed, you are correct there, Mr. Turner, as the field get all lined on up and gridded on up onto pit road. Let's go ahead and do our official starting grid rundown and tell everyone where their favorite driver is starting here tonight. Getting us started off in that top dog position will be the one of Mr. Bogus himself, Derek Welsh, picking up pole position. He's going to have the 3 of Chris Muth Jr. starting to his outside there. 315 of Zach Millett. Been dominant here so far this season. He's looking to get a pretty good start here tonight in third. You're going to get the 28 of Chris Goins having a solid run here last week, having a good starting spot tonight as well in fourth. 329 of America's driver Albert Anderson picking up a good top 5 starting spot. He's going to have the 69 of Larry Dickerson, part of that team All-Star Racing, starting. His teammate starting right next to him. Got the number 9 of Tommy Welch picking up a good top 10 starting spot there in 7th with the 05 PJ Cox getting things kicked on off in 8th. Ninth will be the 8 of Mr. Dylan Mad Max Bryant, trying to Mad Max his way up through this field to try to pick up a win here tonight with the 45 of the Mac Daddy Mark Collins picking up that final top 10 spot.
The 5 of Anthony Williams will start in 11th. Outside row number 6, Vincent Short in the 15. 66 of Drew Blaze will start 13th. 14th will be Chuck Kiger in the 22 machine. The 32 machine will be Nick Biddy in the 15th place. 16th, Scott Milner in the 2. The X-Man, Justin Johnson in the X machine starting in 17th. 18th will be Christopher Campbell in the 68. Jeff Ottinger joining us here in the 76 machine. And rounding out your top 20 here, the 79 machine of our Canadian buddy, Jarrett Woodward. or Woodard. I'm sorry. Good at that. Reading's hard.
Turner.
You gonna get the rest there, buddy? I can get it for him. 48 of Skylar Herod will start in 21st. 22nd will be 00 Joe Bennett. 51 of Chris Klein will start 23rd. The 23 of Sean Walton will start 24th. 25th, Tate Cawthorn in the 17. 53 of Kevin Delia starting in 26. 27th will be Tristan Cotton. Trister will be driving the 7 car. 64 Joe Harger starts 28th. 29th will be Stephen Wood in the 19. 13 machine, Jonathan Hammond will start in 30th. 31st will be Blaine Woodruff in the 71. The 005, AJ Evangelista will start 32nd. 33rd is Russ Kilgore. And did we get confirmation? Tom Barrett's doing race control for us?
I think he is.
I believe he is. So thanks so much for doing that there, Tom. Not an easy job.
It is not an easy job.
You gotta have mercy on your soul.
It is him tonight, and bear with me. I had the computer fella. Believe it or not, I think Bill Gates has infiltrated this system here. I'm going to have to come under an assumed name and fix everything on when my next computer comes around.
Another assumed name.
Another assumed name, as we're assuming the green flag for the first time here tonight. Everybody all locked and loaded side by side down into turns 1 and 2. Goes that one of DW. He drifts up to that middle to high lane, allowing the 315 of Zach Millett to get a run on the bottom side. Will he make use of it, or is this going to be another one of those tracks where we see mostly everybody trying to stick up to that medium line here to get the maximum run off of these corners? DW able to hold on to that position. Meanwhile, got people slipping and sliding back through this pack. 32 Nick Biddy going side by side right now with the 15 of Vince Short. More up towards the front. You got that 8 of Dylan Bryant already on a charge here, moving up 4 positions in one single lap, trying to get around that 28 of Chris Goins here, continuing their way down through turns 1 and 2 and on out to that back straightaway. You can see the 329 Albert Anderson. He looks like he got a little jumbled up there coming out of turn number 2, as we're almost going 3 wide, and we are. Tommy Welsh trying to sneak that bumper up underneath the 8 and the 28 here. Ooh, this track is wide, and you can make use of that apron, what the 9 is doing. He's able to get out of that 3 wide situation and get a couple of positions there. The 2-for-1 special for the Mountain Dew machine.
Yeah, guys mixing it up already here. Zach Millett just set the...
we got people going around.
Whoa!
So
It's Jarrett Woodard.
Now the 79 Fiji water machine going for a little bit of a tumble, and we saw a couple guys getting a little loose coming off of 2 there. You can see the original X-Man having some issues down there as well. Ended up heading on down onto the apron as we go ahead and take a look back here at kind of what happened. I think the 79 had a bobble and then had some help going around, and then hard it backside into that little 45-degree culvert you got down there, and having a heavy impact.
I don't know if you heard it there, Adam, but it sounded like Joe Harger kind of took part of the blame for that, for popping him in the back end there.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he knew that the 79 had a bobble to start with.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just a case of a little bit of a bobble and then really just nowhere to go, because I mean it was already almost 3 wide going on back there, so it was going to be tough goings in general. But nonetheless, we got ourselves our first caution. A few takers already coming on down into pit road. Just remind the folks here once again at home there, Mr. Turner, what their pits kind of look like down here, how many tires they got, and what kind of percentage of fuel they're running.
Well, they got 85% fuel and only 3 sets of tires total, which seems like that's going to be a little bit rough here. So you're going to have to break it into thirds for 130 laps. That's going to be tough. You're going to have to run quite a few laps on tires. What is that, 40 laps at minimum or so there? I mean, I'm not good with the math. And the pace car speed is 65. The pit limit speed, more importantly, is dangerously low at 45.
Man, I
in
know
case we
some.
had a green flag pit stop or anything.
I know some towns that their town speed limit is faster than that.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
sure, yeah.
I believe, like, I know, like, once New York City is, I'm gonna offend a whole bunch of people here, but New York City's a bunch of crap. Upstate's not so bad. It's even like posted the state speed limit once when you get up there is like 50 or 55 if it's not posted.
Oh, if
Really?
the road's not posted, it's automatically 55.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Almost
nice.
almost like
Like-
when you cut across Texas there and it's, like 80 or whatever it is.
Well,
But you won't
it
ever
doesn't
catch
matter
anybody
where you
doing
are.
80.
It's a minimum of 85, even if the sign says like 38. I mean 35 or whatever. It's 85. I mean, just send it. That's
Like
everybody's
that in
full
Southern
send.
California, man. That scared the
Yeah.
hell out of me driving to California.
Yeah, it's full send. Like that looped around Austin there, that new thing over there
the
by
tall-
Elon Musk Castle. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 85 posted, but I think the average speed is probably 100.
There's people
Yeah.
moving down through there.
And they're
I
not
stay in
going
the right
100
lane.
in wonderfully built brand new cars, They're like 97 Camry with, you can tell one wheel's about to fall off of it.
Or a
Just send
steak
it.
bed truck with no brakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Fenders falling off of it.
A what? A what truck?
Like a steak bed.
What's a steak bed?
That's a flatbed truck with wooden sides on it,
Oh, okay. Hey, gotcha.
sheep on it and stuff. Yeah.
Didn't know what you were alluding to there.
Yeah.
It's the lights on the pace car turn on off. Getting ready to head on back to some green flag racing here.
He's having flashbacks to his truck driving days. Now he don't do nothing but make
Bad
beer for
equipment out
people.
there.
Make beer for people.
Ugh.
How's that going? You enjoy
I
making
enjoy
beer for the public and making
love
people happy, put a smile on their face.
The only other job that I would ever want would be to dress in a Easter bunny costume once a year and make sure the politicians made it back into their own houses.
That's a high paying job, That's like
Keep them from talking to reporters,
yeah. That guy probably worked for a 3-letter organization wearing the bunny suit there. You got to keep them in check, You don't want them to get off script or maybe fall down or anything like that. Did you see when him and the other guy that doesn't have a brain, they were
Yeah.
talking together and you couldn't make sense of
Frankenstein guy?
Yeah, it was like the guy that wears a hoodie all the time. It's like nobody was speaking English, man. What in the hell is this world coming to? Let's watch racing, man. I'm getting fired up.
Well, instead of a 3-letter organization, I thought it was a 4-letter one.
Yeah.
As we get ready to go back to green flag racing here with the 1 in the 315, getting things all fired on up. Side by side back across that line. Green flag is out here once again, and the race continues to roll on through. Man, that 315 got a great restart there on that outside lane, and that's where DW wants to sit. Oh, hard impact, and we got the 9 going around.
And the 48 went down to the inside wall.
Still crashing. People trying to speed around it got caught up in it at the back end of that.
Oof, man, some hard impacts being had out there.
Mercy.
Tell you what. Get a little too racy too early. We're at lap 8 and we have 130.
And 2
Oh.
cautions.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
We'll go ahead and kind of see what happened here. It started in front of the 9 machine. Oh, I wonder if that started with some net code there between the 28 and the 69. 69 reacted a little strange there and got shot up against the outside wall, and yeah, the 9 machine just sideways across the track, and oh man, just gets absolutely clobber knocked right there in the quarter panel and spun right back on around. And who'd you say went down into the inside there?
48, I believe. I was
Skylar
Herod.
Herod.
Almost.
Oh, he did. So this was kind of the pre-wreck here. He was getting loose, got onto the apron there a little bit. Ooh, goodness. And you can see him just trying his best to save that thing. Oh, he did avoid hitting that wall, though. He was able to collect it back up. They do have a ton of runoff down there on that backstretch apron here at Kansas, so they at least have that going for them here.
No, that probably saved them from getting in the big one there by just having that little incident. Real racy right there, I think, with the 69 and wasn't that the 28? Kind of doored each other, it looked like.
A little bit. As let's go ahead and maybe talk to one of these drivers on out here. How about a driver we haven't talked to in a little bit? The 76 machine, Mr. Jeff Ottinger. Let's go ahead and see if we can't pull him on up here tonight. Part of the Wicked Loose Racing, and I think that's very fitting as we bring on up the 76, Mr. Jeff Ottinger joining us here tonight. And Jeff, looks to be a little bit of a tricky ride out there here tonight. These cars not finding much grip out there.
Yeah, I'm having a heck of a time. Real loose in the corners, but we'll get her tuned in here.
Yeah, we saw during practice some guys were even fighting tight conditions after just a few short laps. Are you worried about that kind of later on down the road in that 76 Chevrolet Camaro?
No, I don't think so. I ran quite a few practice laps. I never really felt it tighten up on me, so I think we'll be okay.
All right, well, it's getting tricky early. Hopefully y'all straighten it out, and good luck to you.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
Get him on back down there with his teammate, Russ Kilgore, so they can talk strategy and do whatever they need to do.
Jeff, a Michigan man.
Oh,
Pretty cool paint.
respect that. I got some Ted Nugent, my favorite. He's from Michigan.
Yeah, they might know each other.
Do you think he knows Ted Nugent? If so, we're gonna have to go hunting together, all of us.
Sure.
That'd be fun.
Probably got him in his cellular phone directory.
On the Rolodex?
Rolodex.
Yeah.
Uncle Ted.
That's how he is in my phone, Uncle Ted. I do have an autographed hat from Uncle Ted. It's pretty interesting.
You really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do you know what the hat says?
What does it say?
It's like a come and take it flag, but it says, I will not comply. Can you imagine me wearing something like that? Could you imagine that? I thought it was a cool hat.
Can I imagine
He signs
wearing
it.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's not much of a stretch to envision.
No. See, that's how you get on lists. That's how you get in trouble. And that's
probably
how
got that hat
one day, y'all will just be like, where is he? Oh, yeah, he gone.
Guantanamo.
He's done for. No more iRacing for me. I'll be an old 8x12.
And we'll
just for talking,
have to ask you how the LSD was.
Exactly. Science experiment. Here we go.
That indeed. Pace car back down and off onto pit road, and here we go. Green flag racing here once again as the one in the 315 get things all started off down there. Up at the front, 315 with a great start here, but the one up on that outside lane, is he going to come back with a little bit of a charge? Doesn't look like it, as the 315 just absolutely putting the hammer down here, trying to get some space in between the top few drivers here. Meanwhile, 329 Albert Anderson going side by side with the 28 of Chris Goins here. 329 riding that outside lane a little high, kind of close to that outside wall, but he is definitely getting the run off of the corner here. You can also see Chris Muth Jr. in the 3 machine trying to pick and choose a lane, maybe trying to figure out a way to get around that one of DW. Also got The 10 of Justin Johnson having a pretty solid race right now. He's side by side with the 45 of Mark Collins, not too far in front of him. You got 05 PJ Cox and the 8 of Dylan Bryant having a pretty good battle here, as well as everything kind of. It's not single file and it's kind of too wide, but it's a scattered too wide as everyone trying to pick and choose whatever lane is going to work best for them here tonight. As we've still got a good chunk of way to go, 130 laps in total to do here tonight, and of course we're only here on lap 15, so this one is just getting started.
Nick Biddy Designs number 32 Ford Mustang battling it out with that 8 machine of Dylan Bryant. They're behind the 1. Some great paints out here, man. 32 with an awesome paint. The 1 machine, heck of a paint on that car as well. Is that really the 1? Is that?
Oh no, we have one of those.
Oh, it's Drew Blaze in the 66. It says 1 on it, but it's Drew Blaze in the 66.
This 64 machine of Joe Hoggard makes his way around the 68 of Chris Gamble. We run around here with the old Soupy here.
Mark Collins, Mac in the 45 there. Another really cool paint. Sim Gear Central all over that 45 car.
Ooh, one of our race sponsors.
Yeah, right in front of him, Lonestar Racing Amco machine, Amco transmission machine. PJ
Ooh, remember
Cox.
those? They still have Amcos?
I'm not sure.
I remember
Hey,
that.
well,
I haven't seen an
wait,
advertisement for it in a long time.
One of the local shops around here has a sign for it up. I don't know.
Might be
Yeah,
pretty
kind of
popular.
like the old Napa shops, those little bitty Napa shops that used to be everywhere, and now they're
Or
starting to
bumper
spend.
to bumper, you know, the guys that the parts houses that had bumper to bumper signs up.
Yeah. I don't know, but I keep seeing this casino in turn 2. I want to leave y'all and head on in. Sure, they're having a special on drinks on
I know what you're gonna bet on.
a night like tonight. What do you think?
Well, craps table, you're gonna bet Snake Eyes
Well,
over and
you
over.
know,
I've seen it in person.
I'm pretty predictable, yes.
Hey, but we killed some Bloody Marys that morning.
Ooh, they were good too. I found the right lady to give us the spicy
Yeah.
ones.
That's right.
But right now, Brown, we're getting this racing back in track. This is what we're used to seeing, pretty clean racing right now.
Yeah, I think it was just a matter of, getting those tires warmed up to pressure. Everybody looking to be a little bit more stable now as the field starts to kind of spread its wings and actually become a beautiful phoenix rising from the ashes. Here's the 329 Anderson taking control of that third place spot from the 3 of Chris Muse Jr. You can see the 15 of Vince Short now making a move down low on that 3 machine, trying to find his way up to maybe try to pick up a podium finish here tonight. Meanwhile, here kind of towards the back, 64 of Joe Hogger going side by side with 71 Blaine Woodruff. We got a whole bunch of side by side going action back here.
It's awesome. I love to see this kind of competitive racing like this. Skunkworks Graphics Racing says, let's go Skylar Harrod. Let's get that W for Skunkworks out there tonight. Daniel Poachlag says, just want my soon-to-be ex-wife to have a happy anniversary. Is that a thing?
You just
Yes,
made it a
so.
thing.
Sure.
I mean, sure. Whatever you
Depends
want.
on what kind of gift. If it's a flaming bag of dog excrement on the porch, or if it's
kids don't do that anymore.
old... Oh, they don't do that anymore?
I don't think so.
No,
That
they're
trick
too
went
lazy
bad.
behind their screens to do that anymore.
Yes, they are. Exactly.
It's like, I'm going to send him a nasty DM.
Yeah. So dumb, man. Get out there
It
and
used to be PM,
get out there and do some real pranks.
and before that it was IM, so I don't know what it is.
That was instant
Postcard.
message, right? And then the direct message, then the personal message. What is it now?
Private message? It's direct message? I don't know.
Instant.
We used to send postcards. Back in
And
your
then-
day, they sent telegrams and...
No. No, there was no
You had a
telegram.
town telegrapher that wore the little
Well,
visor.
you know what? I think back then
beep, 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 beep.
They
beep.
could send a telegram if you had a kid or something. You know, hey, send a telegram to Billy down there in Robstown. He's the
Tell him his paw is stuck in the well. Something like
How about this here? Turner 19 of Stephen Wood trying to figure out a way to get around the 00 machine of Joe Bennett, the Augusta, Georgia native.
Ooh. Does that mean he's fancy if he's in Augusta?
I think it means we need to, the next time the Masters rolls around, if we get tickets, we might need to hook him up for some housing.
You know what? I met somebody from Augusta that told me about Augusta. The course is wonderful, but they said the town is actually like a rough town, man. You got to be careful in Augusta, Georgia.
Well, they have to have people to work at the golf.
Well, I think it's a lot of other stuff going on around there. But I've never been. The course looks wonderful. Kind of like this weekend. What a fun PGA Championship event.
Yeah, with their 297-yard par 3.
They gotta get rid of the guys that can't hit it that far, I guess. Inaccurate.
Wyndham Clark, I guess, is the guy that showed him how it was done out there.
Oh,
huh?
yeah, he did.
Who
Where
did?
I in his 2 previous U.S. Open spots, didn't even make the cut. Ooh, talking about making a cut there. Looks like some interesting action going on up here towards Vince Short in that 15 machine, making some moves and trying to filter his way back on around. Same thing with that 28 of Chris Goins. He was down there on the apron for a little bit, but able to rejoin the racetrack.
Let's get some air out back in it.
Oh, Ferdiani out there pulling for Plus EV team out here. I wonder if he's sitting on another table here tonight. And
He might be in that casino.
Poker tips.
He might be in the casino right here at the track. I don't know.
I hope one day we get to play poker with him. Wouldn't that be fun?
No, because he'd destroy you. I don't want to play poker with him.
71 in the wall, 45 bouncing off of him, able to save it. Now the 45 scraping the wall.
Oof, man, some beating and banging being had back here in this back to mid-pack.
Just saw some 3 wide there with the 66. Oh, 64 up, scraping the wall. We're starting to see more of that now. Guys are kind of losing the traction and
Yep.
sliding up and scraping.
And they need to go at least 10 more to make these things. Maybe even 12 more.
Yeah, they
kinda get 'em
need
into third.
probably 42, 43 laps or 43 laps, I
Yeah.
think.
So they still need to hang on to it. If that means you have to slow down, I would slow down if it was me out there. But these guys like to, race hard and sometimes run into each other.
Yeah, and again, it's also about where you've been running most of your race. I've got a feeling people riding that high side here are maybe saving a little bit more tire, but here comes that 15 Vince Short trying to make the move on 329 of Anderson to steal third away. He's still got side-by-side going on behind him here as well between Goins and the old 32 Nick Bigg. Sean Walton in the 23 machine as well, having a pretty good fight. He's been side-by-side with Tommy Welsh here for a little while.
I'm just glad they're too wide and giving each other some room, even though there is going to be some sliding, or we could have something happen just because of the tires. But looks like in the corners they're giving each other a good amount of space, really low or really high right here. When I'm looking at like the 71 and the 00 Joe.
Yeah, at least 2 car widths or so, it seems like.
And as the
not
corner
always.
turns in, they kind of tighten up, but as it straightens out. But yeah, they're making it happen. I'd like to go to Kansas one time to this race. This seems like it'd be a fun track. Hang out at.
Put it on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like Paul is watching from the room. I min-cashed the seniors event at the Win. You got to get into their head a little bit better there, Paul. What you got to do is, you know, when you get your cards, you have to say bingo, because nothing triggers an old lady like saying those words.
Well, he said the
wait.
win. He's in
Is it the
Fancy
big
Town.
one?
I think. Well, there's so many.
There's
of them
wins
now,
so
but yeah,
all over the place.
Oh, is
yeah.
yeah. It could be the win anywhere, but the one in Vegas is pretty intense. Pretty cool.
Kind of sort of speaking of the win, the fake one of the 66 of Drew Blaze trying to fight his way back on up through the field. He just passed Joe Hogger. Now he's trying to get around the 10 of Justin Johnson here.
He just had to do that with his number, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. One of these days, we're going to have to get Paul on here on Discord with us so he can give us some poker tips. I've got some tips for him on playing solitaire.
I don't think he cares. You can't make any money playing solitaire.
Trade. Well, I mean,
No.
we're trading some tips.
No, you're not. You're not. He's not getting anything. He's not going to do that.
69, Larry Dickerson scraping against the outside wall there. Well, he's got a side-by-side battle with the 45 Mark Collins for some top 20 spots.
Mac having a good night.
Dickerson's having some issues right now. It's slowed down to 13 behind him, looked like, as he almost hit the wall. Oh, both of them hit the wall there. Followed each other into the wall for a minute.
It's one of those, especially if you get into a rhythm and you're just staring at the guy's bumper in front of you. That was the fun thing to do in officials. If you had like one of those long official races for the NASCAR series, get everything all spread out. You know, I wasn't like up at the front or nothing. I was kind of stuck in the middle, and you'd have this guy who was just really annoying who wouldn't leave you alone on your back bumper there. Now, you could just kind of tell he was kind of staring at your bumper and not really looking at the track, because then what you could do is lap after lap get closer and closer to the wall, and eventually they'll just send themselves up into the wall.
Very good point.
Hitting it. Eric Fiorello, me and him used to do that to each other. We'd follow each other right into the wall.
It's like toying with each other, right?
Eric Welch with the
Goodness, that was close.
Eric Welch with the fastest lap out there. However, still playing second fiddle right now to the 3:15 of Zach Millett.
Hey, he's not letting them go out there. He's normally typically have seen as Albert Anderson slow down onto that apron. But typically at this point, we've seen the 3:15 of Zach Millett open up about a 30.5-mile lead over everybody.
Good. Plenty of good drivers in this league, though, man. Vincent Short, check him out, up 9 spots. Currently in third. Of course, veteran Elio, man. Great out there in that 15 Chevrolet.
This looks like the 329 of Albert Anderson going to be one of your first takers here down onto pit road. I think that's why he was kind of slow on the apron. Maybe he wanted to come and pit and just kind of missed all the marks and wasn't able to get everything slowed up in time, so he just stayed out onto the apron, having to do another lap here.
Losing so much track position, that's gotta really tick you off, when you do that. Joe Hogger continues to pass these guys. He's up 21 spots.
Hey.
7th. My goodness.
He's definitely
battling Chris Goins.
He's definitely no stranger to racing on that old rubber.
That's a fact, dude. He knows how to do it. Kevin Dilly on the 53 Chevrolet. He's up a whole bunch. Saw a little slide up the racetrack from him a minute ago. Definitely knows how to use the whole track. Get some pretty quick lap times, just using up all the real estate you can when you're not side by side with some people.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, I would expect, aerodynamics come into a play here as well. So having some somewhat fresh air out there in front of him, giving him the most amount of downforce that is kind of possible. It's definitely helping him on out here, trying to ease up on those lap times a little bit and make his moves. Meanwhile, just a few cars in front of him, we got that 64 of Joe Hogger going side by side with a 32 Nick Biddy. Looks like he almost got in that position. still down there on the bottom. He's trying to follow that 28 of Chris Gillens around to maybe pick up that extra spot here.
Yeah, nominal top speed's about 185 miles an hour or so by yourself. We're seeing 196 as the top speed I've seen out there so far in the draft. Closing a gap on somebody. That's Scott Milner. He's got the fastest speed out there here so far, 196.4 miles an hour.
Isn't that crazy? That's a huge difference.
It's
than
crazy.
Normally, I think they peak kind of by themselves at 188.
Well, these cars are underpowered now, and they're
it's
very
garbage.
reliant.
They've
They're very
turned it
reliant
into-
on the draft.
Ooh, into the outside wall goes Walton. A few others follow him up in there. One of those being that 9 Mountain Dew machine.
And Joe Hogger just now.
Yeah, 64. Yeah, these are garbage, man. They got one lug nut. Who wants that? I mean, it's made out of plastic, They can't keep a suspension. It's milled into I'm pretty sure some Harbor Freight location overseas, It just bring some real cars back. I'm getting tired of watching this junk. But I like it on iRacing.
Transmission cases and stuff are made out of pewter or something, I think. Remember them old belt buckles that were made out of pewter, and if you threw it on the table too hard, it just bust,
Yeah, that was cool.
cracked? That was so cool.
I like the steel. Remember when we used to have steel on a race car?
Metal cars with bumpers and
Yeah,
I
like
remember
real
that.
bumpers. Like when you could
vent
pick
windows
that
so
up,
you could smoke while
yes,
you're
you picked it up
driving.
at the Buick dealership and brought it there and just souped
Weld
it
a
up.
cage in it.
Put some stickers on it and let's roll it. Yeah, that's the kind of racing I want to see.
These are gone.
No, it's too dangerous. Metal is gonna hurt somebody.
I know.
They burn too much fuel.
Well, don't get me started on that. Fuel.
Uh,
Yeah,
tell
it's not
that-
what it
y'all
was,
watch-
but it's still
Tell-
fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell that to the MotoGP guys.
It's too
yeah.
dangerous.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
those
those
guys
those
are freaking
motorcycle
nuts.
guys? Those guys
Yeah,
are
they're
clowns. I don't know what they're thinking. Have you seen that? What is that? Isle of
Man, TT.
Oh
Yep.
my
I
god.
love that race, man.
That thing is like
It's
you're
nuts.
going to die at some point.
Guys die almost
enough-
every year.
Yeah, you do enough laps there, you're gonna die.
Statistically, it's 1 death a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh
I
man,
wouldn't do
saving
it.
it from hitting that outside wall is the 00 of Joe Bennett. He's got the 4 of Russ Kilgore all over that back bumper of his, and right behind him you got that 71 of Blaine Woodruff doing some Ross Chastain action. Unfortunately, here at this track, it doesn't speed you up; it kind of slows you down.
Yeah, it does not behoove you to rub the wall all the way around here.
That
Yeah,
was probably the
Chastain.
coolest moment in NASCAR.
In
a long time.
NASCAR history.
In like a long time,
It's
really.
pretty
I mean,
awesome. He's like, I'm going to try this. I did it on NASCAR in 2004, and he's a hold the pedal down.
It was cool. Of course, immediately banned. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
You have the 19 and the 2
Three
also
wide back
going
there.
side by side. Oh, where's the 3 wide?
Well, it was the 9, the 23, and the 00, double O Joe Bennett, but they figured it out right before they got into that set of turns, so it was brief.
I'll tell you what, this is our 3rd race in a row with, I think, Numb Thumbs guys. And this is the best one so far. We've had a couple of them that were just kind of, they had some issues, but right now we are looking good.
And I love the late model cars and everything, and I love the tracks they run and stuff. It just they just couldn't get it together that race on Friday, and then last night wasn't that wasn't a race really. It was just
It was just,
had 9 cautions. I think we ended up 9 or 10 cautions, something like that.
yeah. This one's definitely going to turn out better from what we're seeing here.
Does that mean we're going to get a little bit more strategy determining things out here, guys?
I think so. Ooh, what happened? Somebody's in the grass.
Ooh, and we're gonna get a yellow flag. That's the 1 of DW.
What? What happened to
He
him?
must have heard me talking and got angry.
Yeah. Said they're
What
talking
happened to
about the
him?
late model legs. Slam on the brakes.
Having a
What happened to him?
little bit of an issue. Let's go ahead and take a look back, see what happened. I think he was coming on down into the pits and kind of did a little old slippery do.
Oh man.
Oh, 15
yeah, trying
barely
to
avoided him.
15
Yeah.
barely avoided him, but it's the one he was coming in hot and he tried to check up in time, but it wasn't in time and rejoining onto the apron as slow as he was with some of that traffic. That will pull out the caution. So everybody, unfortunately, except for Albert Anderson and Jarrett Woodard, who all, everybody else pretty much stayed on out for as long as possible here, trying to for this exact reason, for a caution to come out for the freebie pit stop, as we're about 15 laps away from a halfway point.
Yeah, I bet everybody's going to come down. Even the guys that took tires already, guaranteed they come down for a splash. Top off on fuel here. Get as far as you can. I would.
Yeah, that indeed. So everybody all trickling on in. Let's go ahead and watch this race to for these drivers to come on out of pit road.
Yeah, this will be the interesting part here. Yahtzee.
Thanks everybody for joining us over there on the YouTube channel. If you like what you see out there tonight, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Ring the notification bell. We've got 407 subscribers so far. Thank you all so much.
Looks like Zach Millett winning that race off of pit road, making up a chunk of spots though. 66 Drew Blaze, followed by the 28 of Chris Goins, having some good pit stops there. Same thing with the 3 Chris Muth Jr. Joe Hoggard did all that fighting on the track, and he did some fighting there in the pits, moving up a whole bunch of spots to be in that top 5. Chris Klein, Vincent Short, Kevin Delia, Dylan Bryant, and PJ Cox is your top 10 coming out of pit road there.
Paul Ferdiani out there pulling for Joe. Get out there and send it, Joe. Catch back up to pace. I don't know if you wanted to talk to somebody else since everybody pitted here.
Well, what I was gonna do the whole rundown here of what drivers are joining us with the driver cam. Got
Perfect.
old Skylar Herod. Now that I got the name right this time, joining us here with the driver cam here this evening. We also got the one machine of Mr. Derek Welsh himself, the cause of that caution. He's definitely tired. You can see it on his face. It's a tough ride around out there here tonight.
Shares your profession. He knows. You guys know what tired is.
Yeah, tired is pretty dang tired. Also got the 32 Nick Biddy, changing up the camera angle here once again. Kind of got the more down the line from the side look at it, so you can see his three monitor setup all up in right. I'm jealous that he's got all those dang monitors all level. Whenever I did mine, I could never get them level. One was always like just a little off, like high or low, and the angle was all off. It's like I couldn't get it quite right. I think he's even got like a 4th one hidden down there for like all set up and
Telemetry and
all that information. Man, he's got the cheat code going on. We also got, I gotta find his name now. He was running up towards the front, but looking to get back up there is the 22, Mr. Chuck Geiger. He's got the 3 triple setup as well.
It's nice having that 4th screen for your black box or crew chief. You guys run crew chief at all?
If I did, yeah, it was great. I would for the most part, I would keep if like there was a broadcast happening for the race or something like that, I would put the broadcast on that, so that way while I'm driving, or if it's under caution, I could see what was going on around there on the racetrack, or even just
insider information too.
Yeah. Or even just keep it to the Discord to see See what's going on out there. But nonetheless, we get all stacked back on up. We're ready to go back to green flag racing. Looks like the 28's a little bit more eager to go than the 315 here. All over that back bumper a millet.
See how this is going to shake out. That'll be an interesting restart.
That it wouldn't. Keep your eye on some of these drivers kind of towards the tail end of this field who last pitted under that green flag, like Albert Anderson, who did get the lucky dog. As we go back to green flag racing with that 315 and the 28 in tow. You can see the 66 of Drew Blaze trying to pick up some speed and get back on out to it here. Some great side-by-side action going on. You got the 15 of Vince Short trying to make his way around that 3. Chris Muth Jr. Doing some ducking and diving. 64 Joe Hoggard up 24 spots on the evening, up to 4th. Having a fantastic run. Oh, as we got one going around the 53 machine. Kevin Delia across the nose. Ooh, everybody watch out. Ooh, we will get
at the start-finish line.
Yep.
Make it a lap.
Woof, that was close. Thankfully, it looked like everyone was able to avoid catastrophe there, but it was definitely getting a little.
Delia with a great save, man. God Almighty, awesome.
Yeah, if iRacing could have let that go a little bit longer, it might not have had a caution there.
Correct.
But I believe we are doing iRacing cautions, right? I believe that's how this league works. So.
Believe the can probably thank the 8 machine there for helping straighten out the 53. Let's get. I got a sneaky suspicion, but I don't want to say it until I get to my correct camera angle here. Why can't I? There we go. Well, I think there might have been contact eventually, but it did start off as some netcode there.
Pesky netcode.
First the trucks, now the next gen cars. The dang netcode.
Well.
Oh yeah, big time netcode. There's a foot between them. Well, close to.
There was enough room in between them. They shouldn't have.
Shouldn't happen. Yeah.
Yeah. We're already talking appeals on the radio.
Talking about what?
An appeal for the. I guess they gave somebody a penalty for that.
And then somebody said something about a banana, so now I get it. Uphill. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, appeal, but he took it literally and said, "You peel it." Derek
like
is talking now. Carry on with the race. Tell you what, they're pretty strict around here. They don't like no nonsense. They wouldn't like me in this league talking to them. You know, I'd be thrown out of here. I'm surprised they hadn't thrown me out for just being around.
Yeah, they'd bring down that swift hammer of justice on your butt.
They'd be like,
"You're
gone, suspended,
you're gone,
lifetime." As I'd yell at somebody, "Hey, you idiot! Why'd you come across my nose, you dummy?" And then I'd be gone. Banned for life.
Why'd you send it in turn number 2 at Pocono?
Exactly.
Screw that guy. I wanted to.
That guy has been a thorn in my side since then. All he does is want to talk about making his fancy beer and all.
And all you do is send him beer in the mail.
Yeah, you're gonna send some beer.
Yeah, you're gonna get something. You're gonna get something back in return.
Oh, well, thank you. You don't have to send nothing to me.
No,
I'm waiting for my AAA broadcasting hat. Brown.
We've had a lot of weather issues, so
yeah, both of us.
It's been hard to send stuff out, and I know
I need a new roof.
I
think you probably need a new roof.
Yeah, at least part of one. Oh, Brown, y'all have a bunch of rain and crap up there here lately, haven't you?
Yeah, man. Oh, man, it's been raining like every day. But yet I still hear, oh, we're still in a drought.
No, they always say that.
Monsoon season. That's to keep people from building fires.
No, that's part of their climate change agenda, you know. We've had 10 inches over the last three days. Oh, we're still in a drought. It's climate change.
Fire danger.
Climate change. We're gonna all die in 5 years. Greta Thunberg, she's gonna tell us how stupid we are. Some
Well, guess
12-year-old. Yeah, we're still here, Greta, and I'm gonna buy up all the diesel trucks I can around here just to have.
Just run them wide open in your
Yeah.
driveway just to make
Yeah.
a lot of smoke.
When I get paid, would just spend my paycheck on fuel and just turn it into rolling coal all week.
Oh my goodness! See, that's not productive.
Pretty cool though when you roll coal. People like that. They think it's cool. Hillbillies around here do anyway.
Short story. My uncle was a farmer and had primarily old tractors from the 70s because they still worked, and he could fix them. And my little cousin would sit on his lap, and he'd say, "Daddy, make it smoke," and he'd give it a little throttle and it would just dump black smoke out of the stack pipe. My little cousin, Little John, he loved that.
I bet he did. Who doesn't? It's awesome.
You rip that old International Straight Six wide open, when it's got a turbo on it, it'll dump some smoke out of that 1486.
Well,
I used to ride with him too when he'd go disking and stuff. What do we got here, Brown? We're ready to get going?
yeah, that we are going to have the 315 and 28 starting things off side by side. 64 of Hoggard side by side with the 66 Drew Blaze. 15 in the 3 machine right behind them, as well as we get locked and loaded pace car down onto pit road. And here we go, green flag racing here once again, just about to that halfway point here in this race here at Kansas tonight. As the field goes side by side, Zach Millett out to a good start here. That's allowing the 66 and the 28 to have a little bit of a battle there right behind him. Who's going to win that one? Well, we're just going to have to hold off and wait and see for just a quick second. Almost some contact there. Oh, man, the 3 really washed up the track into the 64 there.
Guys are getting close and uncomfortable out there.
Yeah, they're making it uncomfortable, some of them.
We're halfway through here now, and Gresham has not missed a tick at all.
It has not. You got the 9 of Welch trying to make his way down underneath the 53. You can see the 19 of Stephen Wood trying to make some moves up there on that kind of outside middle lane there. 76 of Ottinger hanging around up there as well. Jonathan Hammond in the 13 machine. Haven't really talked about him here tonight. He's up 13 spots right now, trying to make up some more ground.
53 taking another stab at passing the X machine here. He got loose, bobbled it coming off a 2, but he'll make it work down here on the front stretch.
Yeah, well, Derek Welch is sitting 23rd after that incident, and he's watching all this mayhem in front of him. I bet he's taking notes on what, because they're going 3 wide sometimes here on the quad or trial or whatever it is here at the front.
Ooh.
Derek Welch into the wall.
Oh, and right in front of him, another one going up into the wall hard. Oh, and the 4 machine as well getting a little loose and slides up the racetrack. Ooh, dodging landmines out here.
Yeah.
Looks slick out there, but these guys are on fairly new tires. I don't know. They're just trying to drive it like they're worn in or something. It's just not working.
Oh, you can even hear it from the 1's perspective there. He even slowed down enough yet to downshift into 4th.
See, that's confusing to me. 5 gears.
What's confusing about 5 gears? Like every road car has 5 gears.
Yeah, but in NASCARs, we have 4 gears. We
Even
have
more.
5 with the reverse. I know, it's a shame.
Even in our trucks, we got 5 gears. They're just stacked on top of each other.
I don't know.
You run a Super 10 or just a
Just a regular 10.
regular 10 speed? You ever drove a Super 10? It's actually pretty cool. You can pre-select gears and you just let off the gas and get back on the gas and it shifts. For you.
I wish we had that.
Super 10s kind of went away. They used to be real popular. It went away. I don't think anybody makes them anymore.
Ooh, man, it's good. Some good tough fighting out there. I think if for the job that I do, we're not really hauling that much weight around, so
That'd be the perfect truck for a Super 10. You don't need low pulling gears or anything, really. Shoot, boys! Look at Double O Joe right on the back of the X machine of Johnson.
in the meantime, the 76 of Ottinger right underneath them
Yeah.
here. So some really good side-by-side racing going on here as we cross that halfway threshold here tonight at Kansas Motor Speedway. Zach Millett currently out in front, but not by much, of Drew Blaze, as Drew Blaze at the meantime, as we're saying this, looking down low, trying to get the run here going side by side down through the tri-hold. 315 will hold on to that spot. Oh man, this action, it is just getting good. So while the action is still kind of unfolding here, we're going to take a quick step aside for some thank yous from our great sponsors over here at the NTRL. And when we come back, we'll come back with the remainder of this action-packed race here from Kansas. And welcome back as we return to the action here at Kansas Motor Speedway. You got the 15th inch short having a good battles here still with the 51 of Chris Klein. But meanwhile, up at the very front, the 315 Zach Millett and Drew Blaze have yet to be separated. You got the 64 Joe Hoggard trying to fight his way back on up and through. Meanwhile, here comes Chris Goins into this fight here as well, trying to pick and plod his way down through this field. You also got Delia having a pretty good fight up here as well. Kind of towards the back, that one, a DW trying to fight back after his little bit of a miscue coming on down into pit road. Still back there in 18th. He's got the 23 of Sean Walton in front of him here, as well as the 71 of Blaine Woodruff trying to keep it clean in the simple green here.
Very nice. That was a good touch.
Okay, closing in on the
Hammond up 20. Joe Hoggard so far looked like your biggest charger there, Alan. Up 25 spots in that 64 Ford Mustang.
Yeah, having a fantastic night. Unfortunate night there for, as of right now, Jarrett Woodard and Scott Milner, as well as Anthony Williams. Looks like they all got snagged up in some form of incident or another, and they're just stuck a couple laps down, but they're still out on the track. Meanwhile, looks like Albert Anderson. Oh, that one's gonna be close, Albert. Coming on down into pit lane. He was off cycle here, so coming on down into the pit lane.
He got flagged
A little late, and getting a little flag there for whether it be speeding or unsafe pit entry. I don't know, but either way, just sometimes
serving
just not your night.
Serving that under green's going to cost him a lot.
All right, well, thankfully he's serving it while he's on his way in, so it's not like he has to come back around and down, so it's at least saving him a little bit of time on that aspect.
Yeah, he hadn't had the best of nights. We normally see Albert running pretty well. He just had a off night.
He started good. I mean, started up there in third, having or right around the top three. So, almost some contact here between PJ Cox and 32 Nick Biddy, having a good little battle here. But yeah, just
sorry, I was watching Kevin Delia continue to use the whole racetrack. He's the whole racetrack, and then a little bit of his fenders on the outside wall there.
Man,
I think he's just slipping up the track with those tires wearing out on him.
Yeah, and right in front of him as well. Looks like Goins got almost stuck up against that outside wall a little bit.
Yeah, tires are worn down about this point. They've got, most of the guys have 30 laps or so. Look at Biddy and Delia adoring each other.
Go ahead, try to fit a playing card in between there.
Yeah, you couldn't have. Delia hit the wall again.
And in the meantime, they also got traffic coming up through down there on that bottom lane. Yeah, Cox just sneaking his way on through. So some good battles going on out there. Just a heads up for everybody here, coming up next week, especially if you live on down there near the Gulf Coast. There's a tropical storm all getting formed on up here. Early start to the season, so everybody be on the lookout for Brett.
Never understood that.
Ooh, we're 3 wide here.
Oh,
they're able to figure it out. The 13 Jonathan Hammond losing a few positions here after getting stuck in that outside wall.
Yeah, it looks like he backed off the gas too, and kind of let the rest of the guys go there.
Yeah.
What is it you don't understand there, English?
Well, I mean, like when Katrina was coming, you know, you saw what he did in Louisiana, you know, but people just see the news. Katrina's a nice sounding name and all that kind of stuff. Sounds like a friendly person. They need to name these hurricanes like terrifying things so people actually evacuate. Like name them like Death Storm or Bone Crusher or, you know. Yeah, something terrible. Sound like a monster truck, you know? That way people like, oh, crap, you know, Death Storm is coming. We got to get out of town.
I mean, I like your idea. I don't know if it's
It
going
would
to work.
save lives, man.
No, it wouldn't.
It-
People are going to do whatever they want
No,
to do.
they would. And then here's what else you do: you take the cat 1 through 5 and just put it on a scale of 10. It sounds a lot worse if a category 7 or 8 is coming after you. You
But
know,
it's the same thing, just 1 to 5. You know it's bad
Yeah,
if it's a
it's-
4 or
it's-
3.
it's the mental thing of it, though. You know, they're like, oh,
Are
remember when
people are
Katrina
that
was a
stupid,
cat
aren't they?
5 or a cat 4?
People
They're
are
like,
that
oh
stupid.
man, this was a cat 8. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
stupid if you sit in the path of a freaking hurricane. So
Well, some people are too poor to get out of it. What do you say about that? Or maybe they want to stay and loot. I don't know. There's reasons
I
people
just
stay
think this
behind.
idea will save lives.
Ooh.
That's what I think.
3
I
crispy
don't
against
think
the
it
outside
will.
wall there a little bit.
Yeah, 3 lost a little bit of right side paint there, I think.
Oh, and almost doing it again there. Oof. So I
Yeah.
think these drivers are starting to struggle with that tire wear here a little bit. I mean, they are roughly we're almost 40 laps into this run on these tires.
Well, English, you just offended every weatherman out there.
Why? It's not the weather people's fault. It's whoever comes up with the names. That's who we need to talk to. Give me a hotline to the guy at National Weather Service or whatever global conglomerate controls the name of these hurricanes and stuff, and I'll tell you.
Well,
I
I
can
mean,
talk some sense to these people.
they probably go in there and seed the ones they want to be stronger and destroy more stuff. So
Oh yeah,
Probably a good idea.
Blowing up the levees, yeah, I'm sure.
no, that didn't say anything about the levee being blown
Well,
up.
I'm saying neither one of them's happened,
It hasn't.
or has it? it's like the tagline to a freaking soap opera or something, or 2020.
Yeah.
Nick Biddy was just driving around the track when the levee broke.
Well, did you see
It was
the
just
clown,
a freak of nature, or
This-
was it?
Bill Gates clown's trying to do this thing called like sun shadowing or something like that. All that is just darkening the sky with all the contrails and stuff to bring the temperature down because he thinks he's God.
Ooh, 53 billion to the outside wall. That's going to cause some issues. Here's the 3 and the 19. Take him 3 wide.
Well, there we go. 3 wide racing saved us.
Saved us from our own insanity.
Oof. Man, that's
Still holding it
19 was
together.
able to get out of there in time, but the 3 was starting to drift up the track just a little bit there on corner exit.
45 coming with a great head of steam. Oh, it scrapes the outside wall.
Yes. Having a little bit of a battle there with that outside wall. It's the Sim Gear Central car of Mark Collins. Going side by side right now with the 13, Jonathan Hammond. He's had his few shares of a.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, we're going 3 wide here
there.
again. Oh, the one of DW up against the outside wall.
Oh, golly, 8 and 13 in the 1 right there. I thought something was gonna happen there. It ain't over yet. It don't look like.
No, I don't think you're wrong there, Mr. English. That this crazy battle and this, I mean, this is really just for a spot to get to like 10th here.
Well, as we talk about every race, every point matters down the road. When we start to get into playoff time, all these points are going to matter. So if you can pick up a couple extra positions in a race this early in the season, yeah, you're gonna take a few extra risks. As the 8's in the middle, looks like they're about to go 3 wide again with the 53 in the 1.
Ooh, getting tight. Oh, and the one machine coming bouncing off of that outside wall. It's slipping back in a line. So gonna be a single file here for just a second until the 13. Looking to the outside here on the 53.
It's a good sized track, but it's racing small out here tonight. It looks like.
Well, I'll tell you what's not going to race small. I think next week we're going to Talladega.
Ooh, it's
So
gonna be a fun one.
that'll be quite the difference than this one here.
Well, while these cars are draft dependent here as well, you know, put them on Talladega, it's a whole different ball game. You're not going to see big separation like you see here. It's going to be a lot more guys very, very tight on each other's bumpers. Seeing loads of bouncing off the wall here, Alan, between the 1 and the 3, and just tons of contact with the wall. I wonder if any of these guys are close to reaching that 18x incident limit. I don't think we've seen anybody get a black flag and have to come down and serve yet for incident points, have we?
Man, it's been pretty good here tonight. I mean, we've seen a couple. Oh, it's a 3 gets hard into the outside wall there. He kind of got squeezed by the one machine of DW a little bit there, but I mean, he was going to hit the wall either way. But yeah, I think don't think we're quite over with yet, because we still need to see these drivers come on down into the pits one more time.
Yeah, they got to be getting close to really wearing those tires out. Most of these guys pitted on lap 52 last, so yeah, that's a good almost 50 laps run on that set of tires so far. Ooh. There's some arguing out there.
Banter there.
I like that.
Stephen Wood and Delia making their way on down into the tricky pit road.
Yeah, it's about
This
that
is
time.
this is not an easy pit road to get onto, boys.
No,
Especially
it's
with
slow,
a huge decrease in speed you have to hit coming out of turn 4 there.
Yeah, I think it's 45 miles an hour.
It is. Yeah.
That's
At the
tough.
cone. 3 in the wall
Yes.
again.
Yeah. Double O Joe calling out his pit.
Yeah, I think once a couple of these guys break the seal here, you'll see a bunch more come down. Here we go. Floodgates are opening now.
And Double O Joe Bennett making that dive on down into pit road as well. So money stop time here at Kansas.
Can't make a mistake here, Alan. You got to hit your pit box. Make sure everything's checked that you want checked, and vice versa, and get out of there without speeding. I don't know who came up with the term money stop, but that's absolutely true. Vincent Short announcing he's coming down this time. Russ Kilgore, black flag in the 4.
Oh, man, making some mistakes down there. Here comes that 315 Zach Millett. Does he get checked up in time? Looks like it. A nice, smooth entry there for him. 64 Joe Hogger's going to inherit the lead out here, while Vince Short, Tommy Welch also coming on down into the pit road.
So far, only Kilgore black flagged. So now you're going to have that situation, Adam, where you got guys on new tires, guys on old tires, guys, blending back onto the track, guys trying to get off the track. Is this kind of a recipe for disaster?
I mean, it really seems like it could be with super fast cars coming off pit and the guys slowing down on those older tires. That could cause for issues. We'll see if they can blend back together. If they can blend this back together and without a caution, I think we might have seen our last caution of the night.
Now we'll have to see. Both Chris Goins and PJ Cox making their way on down. Chris Klein, Chris Muth Jr., and Jonathan Hamley making their way on down in a tight line down into the pit road.
That was well done right there.
Yeah, we mention it at these tracks, especially, you know, when you think you might get a green flag stop, you got to practice that. You got to practice that pit entry. You can really make up several seconds on a pit road stop if you do it perfectly.
Mark Collins hit the wall there, coming out of 4.
He did. His NTG buddy right there below him, the one of Derek Welch, trying to maintain here.
Dylan Bryant is in the lead. He last pitted on lap 60, so different strategy. And doesn't look like he got tires last time. How's he going to survive out there?
He's still going to have to come in for fuel, isn't he, Alan?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
lap
even
60, I mean, what?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna make it. 70 laps. On fuel here tonight. So
What's the advantage there? I don't see his end game here.
I don't either, but that's why we're both up here in the booth here, Alan.
Justin Johnson in the X machine, Texas native, in 10th place has a meatball flag.
Ouch.
Not 10th place. Where's he?
10 machine.
10 machine, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Two
Roman
laps down
numeral.
in 29th. Sorry.
It's a
It's looking
Roman
in the wrong
numeral.
column. Yeah, no, it's a Roman numeral.
Let's
Do they teach you that in school?
maybe let's take a quick look back at what happened. Oh, he was scraping the outside wall. He had a issue there with the 9 machine getting all squirrely. Oh man, and then he came back across the track hard up into that outside wall. He's probably got some heavy front end suspension damage on that thing, and unfortunately for the 10 machine, he might be down there on pit road for quite a while. But that also could have, that was very close to possibly being a caution that a lot of these drivers did not want to see, that have come on down here under this green flag, as that would have put them that one lap down that it would be very difficult to come back from.
That's a great point, yeah. There's a lot of drivers out there saying, thank goodness that did not end up a yellow.
AJ Evangelista in the 005 trying to make up some ground here, tracing down the 7 of Tristan Cotton out here.
I don't understand the speed difference there. I can't believe iRacing didn't throw a caution there on that deal. Watching the replay a couple of times.
Well, iRacing's not perfect.
Oh, no.
Ooh, the 3 and the 17 almost got into it with each other. 17's running very slow.
Comes Derek Welch, Kiger, a couple other guys pitting this time.
And Kiger, Campbell, and Harrod all making their way on down into pit road. Meanwhile, Millett absolutely sending it here, trying to catch back on up to the front as quickly as possible. DW now coming back down into the pits for his pit stop.
These guys that are pitting late, are they just counting on, we're going to have a late caution and we're going to have better tires than everybody? So is that kind of the thought process here?
I mean, it'd have to be. They're gambling for a caution, most likely, would be my guess.
Because they're losing so much track position now, but is it to trade off later if there's a caution? I'm guessing that's their play.
Well, I mean, look at the gaps between. Is there enough time if they can hold out? I don't know. There's a lot of mathematics involved.
I
need somebody with the
love
brains
math. I
to
just
watch
don't
this
like
stuff.
I don't like math when you start adding letters in it. That's when
That's not math. I don't know what that is. All right, Tate Cawthorn is now going to pit. He is really slow in second place there with tires last pitted on 58. So that answers that question.
Yeah. Cawthorn making that 5 into pit road. So Dylan Bryant, still one of your holdouts here. AJ Evangelista in the 005. He's out here as well, just possibly waiting for that late caution with 16 laps left to go.
He did announce he's coming in, Dylan Bryant.
Yep, in there right now. That answers that question too. Zach Millett now. We'll assume that lead on really nice fresh tires.
And with 15 laps to go, really the only one that can catch him right now is Drew Blaze, and even then he is quite ways out of it. 6.5 seconds, if not more here.
Giant gaps here, man. The only thing that can save some of these guys that are outside the top 4 or so, top 5, top 6, is a caution.
Yeah, that's all those guys could probably hope for now.
Yeah, no chance of them making up that many laps or that much time in as many laps as we have.
Now here's the interesting scenario here. Larry Dickerson is on tires from lap 87, and Chris Gomes is behind him, and looks like he at least got 2 tires on the last pit. Vince Short's right there behind him with full set of tires, so that should be interesting.
And Dickerson and Gones trading some positions. Gones trying to sneak back up onto the podium here. Like he's able to do so, but again, Hoggard, he's been looking pretty good here tonight. He's starting to chase some of these guys back on down. Vince Short as well, trying to hunt down the 69 and the 28. The 3, Chris Muse Jr. trying to get back to that back bumper of the 51 to Chris Klein, and the 19 to Stephen Wood here to get back into this top 10.
Anthony Williams being challenged from behind here. I'll go ahead and stay low.
Ooh, Tristan Cotton down into the infield grass. Oh man, a little bit of a slip up as he was trying to get back on up to speed. He's got to be careful here rejoining this racetrack. He's doing it as best as he can to not throw that caution flag. I think we're going to be okay as he's down there far enough onto that apron. Let's go and take a quick check back as he was coming out of pit lane. I think man, we talked about how dangerous it is to come into pit lane, but coming out of pit lane just as dangerous.
Yeah, 100%. We saw some 3 wide action there last lap with the 3, the 19, and the
13?
was that the 51.
Look at Wood and the 3, Muth. They were having a
I got you.
good battle there. They're continuing to have battles on the track there in about 10th place.
Yeah, that they are with the 51 to Chris Klein leading that little charge there. So a battle for 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th here.
Took me a minute to find Chris Klein's car, but he's got that huge MS on the side for Martin Sports, one of our awesome sponsors here in the NTRL leagues. Drew Blaze with your fastest lap time here so far, almost a 31 flat. It's a 31.015. You talk about quick.
That's super fast.
Man, I'm telling you. We're clicking it down here, though, Brown. We don't have that much racing left here to go. Any predictions, guys? Who's your guy? I like Vince Short back here. I like where he's sitting. If we get a caution, I think he might be one of your guys to beat. He's got a great set of tires. And if he does restart where he is right now in second place on the outside, second row on the outside, I think he's got a good shot. But that would take a caution here.
Yeah, I think so. I think, man, to really shake things up, a caution is what is needed. As we're still watching some of these fantastic battles out here. That 9 of Tommy Welch, he's been going back and forth with that 76 of Ottinger here pretty much all night long. Ooh, it's the 2 machine down on the apron there a little bit. Scott Milner coming on into the pits.
I think if we stay green, though, it's Zach Millett's not going to be able to be beat. I just don't think he's going to make a mistake.
No, he's got too big a gap, 8.5 seconds or more right now. So for Drew Blaze and Agone, Short, and Hoggard to have a chance, there's got to be a caution.
I agree with you. And so then in that aspect of it, if you're Blaze or Gones or any of these other guys, do you maybe just know kind of where you're at right now and just watch the cars behind you, make sure you don't get caught up, but save some tires just in case something late does happen, so that way you might have just that little bit of extra rubber you can waste?
100%. Yeah,
you do that. Well,
contingency plan, right?
Yeah, here's mine. I'm to tell my teammates that are not in it, I'll be like, hey, do some magic for me here. Yeah, wink, wink.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Have one of your buddies
hold this guy up,
causing an accident, cause a crash, and my steering went out.
Oh,
one
no,
of those numbers.
My wheel got disconnected.
The dang internet got me again, boys. Sorry. And then
fall.
Then disconnect and then let your friend win, right? Or have a chance.
Sure. Yeah.
You're telling me you're telling me that's never happened. Come on, y'all know that happens.
Oh, absolutely.
If I had it to do over again at Pocono, I would unplug my modem for you.
Oh,
I would do it instead of crashing you.
Yeah, because you've had to hear about it for the last 3-4 years or whatever it is.
2.5.
Either way, that's just my thought. Of course, I'm a French guy. They call me, a conspiracy theorist guy.
No.
That's my conspiracy.
I don't think so.
Well, meanwhile, time is starting to get a little short here. 3 laps left to go. 2 laps as the 315 crosses that line, coming into closing time here at Kansas. And for the most part, seems like most of the battles have kind of settled themselves on out. We still have some great racing here between Chris Klein and Chris Muth Jr. You can see the X-Man, the 10 of Justin Johnson, trying to make some last-minute moves here, as well as the 32 Nick Biddy trying to figure out a way to get around that 19 of Wood, the 1 of DW. Woo, almost getting up into that outside wall there in front of the 8 of Dylan Bryant, but it's all going to be too late here as the white flag waves. No more cautions here tonight as that 315 machine cruises on down through turns 1 and 2. Nobody in the county, nobody in the state around him here as he heads on down through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Everybody's battles trying to get all figured on out. We'll head on over to the battle with DW here in just a second, but first the 315 crossing the line, picking up the race win. Still some good racing going on. The 13 and the 3 trading some positions here, going side by side. The 3 up against the outside wall. The 13 down on that bottom line, getting that little bit of a run. But here comes a charge with the 3 at the line. It's going to be close. Ooh, I think the 3 got him just by a hair. Stephen Wood and DW as well. Talk about finishing by noses here. Every position was being counted and every position was being fought for.
Millet, Blaze, Gones, Short, and Hoggard make up your top 5. PJ Cox was right on top of that too. Yeah, he was only 4 seconds to the rear of all of that. So,
well, that was clean. That was a real clean race. I mean, we only had 2 or 3 cautions. Really good green flag run at the end to
yeah, they got spaced out really well.
not
Differing
give us any
strategies.
drama. Yeah, we didn't have any drama at the end.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I kind of miss drama. I want to hear people fight and mad, and we didn't hear too much of that.
No.
Now, it's just a pretty clean and solid race. For the most part, whatever issues drivers had out here, it was mainly with their own cars and with their own tires. I don't think we had too much beating and banging. I know we saw a little bit of it, but it wasn't well, it wasn't the on purpose on purpose stuff that we occasionally see.
That's
Yeah,
my
less
favorite.
intentional stuff and more, what do you call it? Pushing the envelope and just rubbing up on the outside wall a little bit. Zach Millett out there burning it down. You definitely earned it, buddy.
There he is.
Is he burning it down? I'm not seeing any smoke.
I think it's already over with. I was looking at the delay.
Here,
Well, I'm hearing the engine rev like crazy. I just don't see any
I
tires
know. I'm
spinning.
hearing that too.
I'm doing burnouts at the
Nope,
end.
and
They
there
just
goes
blew
the
his
engine.
engine.
I don't need that motor
Well,
anymore.
If you blow the engine, they can't tech it, right? Because
I believe that's the case.
Yeah. So there you go.
Well, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get some of these interviews all started off and underway. Starting tonight with tonight's third place finisher and having another fantastic run is the 28 of Mr. Chris Goins, having a fantastic run out here tonight. Hanging around up inside that top 5 pretty much all race long. And Chris, this looked like it was a very tricky track to handle here tonight, especially with those cold tires.
Yeah, this track is definitely not one of my stronger ones in this car, but it's definitely tricky to get around here. I'm not super comfortable up high most of the time, but that's the fast way around this place. So luckily we were able to put 130 laps. Well, really about 128. I had a couple that were a little sketchy, but and bring it home in the top 3.
Is it agentdotson.com watercraft? Is that your sponsor out there?
It is, yeah. It's Eric Dotson Agency, State Farm Agency, up in West Virginia. So if anybody's looking for auto or watercraft insurance or home or anything like that up there in that area, certainly reach out to them.
Yeah, everybody with a jet ski or a pontoon boat, you got to have that. And great job out there tonight. Love having that sponsor on that Toyota out there. What was the biggest challenges out there that you guys saw? Because we saw as a lot of guys were able to put a lot of laps on tires and still make it stick to a point, but you still had a lot of contact with the outside wall. Were you able to kind of avoid that?
I think the biggest problem or struggle tonight was in close racing. You get sucked up in the wake in that car in front of you, and it just pushes you straight to the wall. So I think some of the contact that you saw with the outside wall may not have even necessarily been tires as much as it was just getting stuck in that dirty air. These cars are very aero dependent, so it's going to pull you right to that wall. But and in doing so, I mean, to keep it off the wall, you're cranking more wheel in it, letting off, and burns up that right front. So I think that's why you saw. Other than the raw pace that they had, I think that's why you saw some of the guys up front, Zach and Drew and those guys be able to pull away a little bit because they didn't have to necessarily fight with the dirty air as much.
Well, that's a pretty good description of what was going on out there. We just
yeah.
kind of had to guess. Good job of making it up into the podium. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
I want to thank you guys, obviously, broadcasting this, NTRL for putting the league on, agentdotson.com again, Eric Dotson Agency. A couple weeks in a row, we've had a good run with the car, so happy to have that happen. Stivers Automotive Group, Right Turn Racing, my guys over at Right Turn Racing. We put a lot of practice into these things, and we'll see if we can put one together next week. I think we're going back to a super speedway, which I think you guys probably remember how I feel about those from last week, but we'll see what happens. So
That we do, but either way, Chris Goins picking up a fantastic third place podium spot here tonight, man. Congratulations. It was definitely hard fought, and you definitely earned it here tonight, man. Congratulations. Good luck coming up here next week.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good one.
And with that, we move on up a position here. We talk to tonight's second place finisher, a man who is heating things on up, Mr. Drew Blaze in the 66 machine, up 11 spots on the day to pick up that podium second place finish here tonight, man. Drew, congratulations. You definitely had to work your magic through some of this field here tonight.
Yep, all about being patient out there, and I had some patience on that first run, and we really got going there. And next thing I knew, I was in second and restart next to Zach there. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go and try to get out there as far as I can and see where we go.
Well, the Drew Blaze Motorsports Ford Mustang looking great out there. Next week, we got Super Speedway time. It's Talladega. What are your strategies up there? Are you working with anybody to try to, figure out what y'all are going to do, where y'all are going to run, that type of deal?
Yeah, me and my team have done a little bit of super speedways here, especially recently, and we definitely have a good strategy now. I think we're going to put that into action and kind of just do our own thing and mind our own business until near the end of the race, and then see what we can do.
Awesome. Well, good job tonight. Who would you like to give some shout outs to?
Yeah, I got to thank Lonestar Racing, Garza Law Firm, Justin Johnson, Mike Fahey, all my teammates over there. They're a great group of guys, and thank you for putting on the broadcast. And all of you do a terrific job. Love the broadcast, by the way. And thanks to NTRL and Derek for putting this on.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, sir. And congratulations here once again to that 66, Mr. Drew Blaze, your second place podium finisher here tonight, man. Congratulations. Go celebrate, and we look forward to seeing you back here in action again next week.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
And with that, we move on up to tonight's race winner, and he's probably getting tired of picking up race wins at this point. 315 of Mr. Zach Millett waltzing away with the victory here tonight. And Zach, I know for that first couple runs there, man, it was looking pretty good. You had some competition up there, and then green flag pit stops, and you started to separate yourself there a little bit. But I got a feeling that's if a caution came out late, that might have gotten you worried there a little bit.
Oh yeah, it would have been big time trouble. Drew and I were just talking about it. Yeah, DW was giving me a huge run for my money the first stint there. I think he was actually faster than me. It's just there's not much you can do in these cars with these fixed setups. You get behind somebody, the dirty air pretty much just kills you, and it's weird because the draft lets you catch back up, and it's just really nothing you can do with it.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. We talked to Chris Goins about dirty air, and he said that was everything. I mean, once you get right behind somebody, you lose that front downforce, and you cannot turn worth a crap. So, but you were able to stay out there in that clean air all night here. That S4 guy on Twitch, hbrshops.com. Is there any other shout outs you want to give out here on that's painted on that Camaro tonight?
Oh yeah, definitely old DW and the NTRL and everything those guys do, all the admins. I know it's a thankless job. It's tough. Yeah, Eric Dotson, State Farm, Castle Products, Track Bar Media, Martin Sports, Num Thumbs Gaming, AAA Broadcasting, of course.
Thanks, sir.
And yeah, besides
HBR TV too on the deck lid, man. Those guys do a hell of a job over there too as well.
yes, sir. Old Steve Singer. He's a heck of a driver too. It's fun to see him back in the car for that Can-Am series. He's real fast on road courses.
Am I missing? Did Turner step away? Oh,
Turner, are you still with us?
I had a little issue here with my
Mute
Great
button.
job. You were fast tonight. I know you already talked about shout outs, but what do you think real quick about Talladega next week?
Oh man, I've got possibly the worst luck out of anybody you know on restrictor plate tracks. So I'm just I don't know, I'm cursed, man. If I try to stay out front, I'll end up wrecking. If I try to stay in the back, I end up in a wreck. I don't know. Maybe I'll just follow the pace car around. Maybe that'll be the safest way to do it.
you know, that would be a pretty safe way to follow that
Wise
pace.
policy.
Man, but either way, man, 315, Zach Millett picking up the race win here tonight. Congratulations, our good friend. We'll look forward to seeing you back here in action next week at Talladega.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
And
back her.
As we close things down here from Kansas. Well, boys, that was definitely a Kansas race to remember. I don't ever remember it being as slick as what it was out there.
They were having all kinds of issues. I think it's the nature of this new next-gen car. You know, the guys spoke very well about, you got to have clean air out there. Otherwise, it handles like dog do. I mean, you can't, your steering inputs and everything are going to be completely different. You're going to be real light on the steering if you got good downforce, but if you don't, man, it's just going to float up the track on you. You got to put more wheel in it. It's going to wear out your right front, and then you're going to be pushing. So, yeah, man, I think it's just the nature of this car, and these guys are getting used to it, obviously, as the schedule progresses. But it doesn't look easy.
No, I agree. It's the car. Need to go back to the drawing board with these cars, it looks like. Fix them.
That indeed. Either way, let's go ahead and tell everybody where their favorite driver ended up finishing here tonight. Getting things started off here is the winner, 315 of Zach Millett. Having a solid run out here as well with some solid runs. 66 Drew Blaze and the 28 Chris Goins rounding out that podium here tonight. 15 Vincent Short having a solid run. Up there in fourth with the 64 of Joe Hoggard. Looks to be your hard charger of the race, up 23 spots to finish there inside of that top 5. Congratulations there, Joe. You got the 05 of PJ Cox having a good run out there, finishing in 6th. 51 Chris Klein, man, pretty much all race long. He was side by side with somebody, and he managed to figure out a way to get up there, up 16 spots to finish in 7th. 3 Chris Muth Jr. having a pretty good run here as well, finishing there in 8th. Jonathan Hammond, didn't mention him too much here tonight, but he slowly figured out his way to move up 21 positions in that 13 machine to finish here in 9th. And the 69 of Mr. Larry Dickerson is going to be the one to round out your field's top 10.
Your pole sitter here in the one machine, Derek Welch, the boss man, he will finish in 11th place. 12th place, Stephen Wood in the 19. The 8 of Dylan Bryant will finish in 13th place. 14th will go to Nick Biddy in the 32. 71 of Blaine Woodruff finishes in 15th place. 16th, Mark Collins Mack in the 45. 23 of Sean Walton will finish in 17th place. 18th will go to Thomas Welch in the 9 after finishing in 7th place. Jeff Ottinger in the 76, though, finishes right where he started in 19th place. 00 Joe Bennett, the last car on the lead lap, rounds out your top 20.
17 Tate Cawthorn, 21st. 53 Kevin Delia, ended up 22nd. 22 Chuck Kiger, 23rd. Christopher Campbell in that 68 car. 24th Skylar Harrod, the number 48 machine. 25th 005 AJ Evangelista. 26 Jarrett Woodward, I think our lone Canadian.
Woodard.
I don't know why
I already screwed it up twice.
Yeah, reading is hard, guys. He ended up 27th. Justin Johnson, the X-Man, 28th. Kristen Cotton in the 7, 29th. Russ Kilgore in that 4 machine, 30th. Scott Milner, 31st. Anthony Williams in the 5, 32nd. Here's something we don't see every day. The 329 of America's driver, Albert Anderson, at the back of the field there in 33rd. And thank you, Tom Bears, for race control.
And that indeed, and that will round out your field here tonight. As always, we thank you all for tuning in and watching and having a great time with us. Even you, Tristan Cotton, who is there busy doing some racing there, and he's saying that Cotton's lawn mowing service. Just feel free to give him a shout out, to give him a call. And but either way, we really do appreciate all y'all out there, and if you would be so kind, please hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so that way you get alerted every single time that we go live. And if you enjoy any of the fantastic racing content that we have to bring you, be sure to hit that thumbs up button as well, so that way we can finally send Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg to the Shadow Realm where they belong. We also have to say a huge, fantastic thank you to the fantastic race sponsors, Lonestar Racing, picking a fantastic race to sponsor here tonight in Kansas. Thank you guys over there at the Lonestar Racing League. You guys are absolutely fantastic. And again, be sure to be on the lookout on their channel of all their contacts and everything, because they got a pretty big announcement coming up here pretty on soon, and you don't want to miss any of that stuff. As well as have to say a big thank you as well to the race sponsors over here at the NTRL of DEP Graphics, Sim Gear Central, Track Bar Media, Martin Sports, and Davidson Builders. We thank you all for your continued support of this fantastic league. Well, with that, we'll close things on down here tonight. Tomorrow night, though, we do have some more racing action on the schedule. Let's just double check where we are at here for the HCK Beagles Racing League. I believe we're going to Michigan, and I think they were having a vote on which Michigan they're doing, or Phoenix, excuse me. We just did Michigan. We're going to Phoenix tomorrow night. So some fantastic tricky triangle action in the somewhat triangle mini variety. It's a weird track. We'll figure it out when we get there. But until then, tomorrow night, we'll see y'all then. I'm Alan Brown. For Alan English and Adam Turner, we're signing off.
We gone.
See ya.